realized that this is way bigger than myself. This is bigger than, class credit. We're protecting lives, we're saving lives. I am Marissa James. This is my third year in Traffic Jam. I started off with the education team, and then last year I was on the management team, and this year I'm on the marketing team. I'm a marketing major, a triple minor in international business, global development studies, and human resource management, and I'm a junior. So the purpose of Traffic Jam is to end sex trafficking in Macon, Georgia, and we do that by educating high school freshmen in their PE and health classes, and we do this in the Macon-Bibb County area. So initially, I just did it for class credit. I was a freshman. I needed to knock out some gen ed, so it was a 2-4, sorry. And then I started to really pay attention. We had to write a paper about domestic minor sex trafficking, and started going into the schools, and I realized that this is way bigger than myself. This is bigger than, class credit. We're protecting lives, we're saving lives. We're a prevention brand, so, there are a lot of brands that
Sex trafficking is a form of modern-day slavery in which individuals perform commercial sex through the use of force, fraud, or coercion. A commercial sex act includes prostitution, pornography, and sexual performance done in exchange for any item of value, such as money, drugs, shelter, food, or clothes. Any minor used in commercial sex act is a victim of trafficking, regardless of the willingness or desire to engage in the sex act. The International Labor Organization estimates that there are 40.3 million victims of human trafficking globally. Sex trafficking is the second highest growing crime industry, second only to the illegal drug trade. It is based on the principles of supply and demand. There are multiple levels of involvement. The buyer fuels the market with their money. The trafficker or pimp exploits victims to earn revenue from buyers. The victim includes females and males who are bought and sold for profit. Some common places for victims to be targeted are in their neighborhoods, at clubs or bars, at school, as well as on the internet. Traffickers promise protection, adventure, love, security, and opportunity.
I'm from Gwinnett County, so that's northeast Atlanta, and in my area, the Mall of Georgia, that people will come up to you and say, hey, do you want to go to Bible study? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And that's ploy for sex trafficking. So Mountain, this big area, that's all around me, 20, 30 minutes away. So, and then even 3 minutes, my local Publix, people have been try to kidnap a girl in daylight, at the Publix I usually go to. So it's and it kind of opened my eyes, the work I do in Traffic Jam. I started to pay attention to the news and looking oh my gosh, trafficking's everywhere, and prevalent in my area a lot too, which is scary, and in Macon as well. Yeah, so they'll go to them we're having Bible study on Wednesday night or something, you should totally come to this address, and because when you go to Bible study, it's usually a group of people, trying to worship Christ, and so they use that and they bring people to the house, and then that's how they kind of kidnap them, and then start the whole, getting them in the game, what they call it.
For trafficked individuals, getting out of the game and seeking help can be incredibly difficult. Predators frequently target victims and then use violence, threats, false promises, debt, bondage, or other forms of control to keep victims involved in the sex industry for their own profit. In Georgia, there are laws in place specifically to assist human trafficking survivors. For example, Georgia Code Title 15-11.32 allows the court to vacate a child's criminal record where the crime resulted in their sexual exploitation. However, laws on sex trafficking differ in every state. Unlike Georgia, Tennessee is not as understanding and helpful to sex trafficking survivors. To illustrate, one sex trafficking survivor from Tennessee, Centoya Brown, gained the support from famous celebrities including Kim Kardashian and Rihanna after her story came to light. Brown was trafficked as a minor and at the age of 16 shot Johnny Allen, a man who solicited sex from her. Allen, a real estate agent, was found dead in his home by authorities. Prosecutors argued Brown shot and killed Allen to rob him, as she left with his guns, truck, and money. She was arrested in 2004 and sentenced to life in prison in 2006. In 2011, a documentary, Me Facing Life, Centoya's Story, was produced, bringing national light to the story. Hashtag Free Centoya Brown started trending nationally, and Tennessee was forced to reevaluate her case. After a state judge reevaluated her case, she was granted clemency in January of 2019 after spending 15 years in prison. It is a common misconception that sex trafficking does not occur in the United States. However, according to the National Human Trafficking Hotline and reported call data, 5,591 potential cases of sex trafficking were reported in 2016 in the United States.
I was completely caught off guard with the statistics. I had no idea. First off, I had no idea I thought sex trafficking was just an international issue. So some of the students have expressed to me that, hey, I just thought it happened to, girls like in South America or just like other places. They kept saying South America, I think, when I was there. But so for them, I think they probably knew of it or they didn't know what to call it.
Marissa James thinks the solution includes education and resources for survivors.
I think education is so important. I just think education in this world is taken advantage of, and it's withheld from certain individuals and privilege for others. And I think if we educate these students and educate their parents, it's really important because people can do these telltale signs before it's too late. Because there's a lot of, oh, I should have seen this, I should have, could have, would have, a lot of those, and it's just knowing beforehand. But sometimes you don't see it, and things happen, and girls end up through this section, going through the life of being a trafficked individual, and we need more resources. I think there are not many rehabilitation homes for trafficked women. A lot of these girls are arrested for prostitution, actually, so they're in jail. And I think we need, legislation's changing all the time, but we need safe homes for these girls.
Many organizations such as Traffic Jam, the National Human Trafficking Hotline, and the United Nations are working to find an end to sex trafficking.
We just want to make sure that, at the end of the day, we execute our mission, we end sex trafficking, making Georgia, and then our future goals, doing Georgia and the United States. But, it starts with you, and anyone can be involved. You don't have to be part of, a major organization. You can, if you say something, just report it to the police, and they can handle it from there. So, yeah.
While the presence of sex trafficking remains strong today, organizations like Traffic Jam, the National Human Trafficking Hotline, and more are working together to end sex trafficking. If you or someone you know become involved in the sex trafficking industry, contact the National Human Trafficking Hotline for support and resources. By educating and learning the truth about the sex trafficking industry, we all can change the game of modern-day slavery and end it once and for all.